Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back to iAllegedly. And all good things must come to an end, even if they were nonsense and shenanigans and something that we really need. All good things come to an end. The first one is the electric vehicle fantasy that we were pitched, and the second is regular banking, cash, and your privacy is gone, all wrapped into one. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. We have a sponsor today, Delete Me, which I can't wait to tell you about. And let's get right into it. You know, for the longest time, we were told that electric vehicles were going to save all of us. You were helping the environment, you were doing a good thing, and it was fantastic. It was just great. And the problem is that they were so incredibly expensive, they didn't perform like they were supposed to, and people started to complain and realize that something was up. Now, first part of this little story is Ford. Ford has just decided to ditch the F-150 Lightning. The F-150 Lightning is done, finished. This was the F1. Their best-selling vehicle that Ford has ever made is the F-150. It is a nice truck. A lot of people just buy it because they want to drive a truck. Whether they build anything, load anything, they just want the use of an F-150 truck. So logically, the best thing to do would be to have the F-150 Lightning, which was the electric vehicle version. And it was a disaster. It didn't sell well. It was incredibly expensive. It was very expensive to maintain. Charging was a complete joke. And it was, think about it, more expensive to charge, wasn't convenient. I mean, it was just a mess, absolutely a mess. But Ford, Jim Farley, has decided that they're going to get rid of it, and they're going to take a $20 billion loss on the F-150 Lightning. Look at how low the tide is out here in Laguna Beach for you guys today. No waves. This is very cool, guys, because, normally there's, that's Main Beach behind me. Normally there's a bunch of waves out here, and you can't walk out this far. So it's kind of a treat for you to see all this, and we're going to walk over to the tide pools today for you. But this was a disaster, guys. It really was, from the word go, And I had a couple write me, God, I wish I had this. And they wrote me the story 3 years ago. They bought an F-150 Lightning because they were all the logical things. Going to save in the environment. We're going to save money. And they spent well over $100,000 in a truck. They went to go tow their boat on their first big trip. They were very excited. And they went to a place called the Cajon Pass. From Highway 138 to the top of the Cajon Pass, there's no way it's 10 miles, guys. I think it's more like 5 miles up this hill. Anyways, they were towing their boat and lost 50% of the power on their car, on their truck. Get to the top of the hill, to the summit, and they're like, we got to charge this thing right away. They were so worried about that, but it was a disaster. They talked to the dealership, and, it'll be a computer glitch. It's just a computer glitch. We'll fix that. Never fixed it. So they hated that car from the word go. From the first payment, they couldn't stand it. And Ford lied to everybody that this was the future. And again, demand never showed up. They're closing dealerships because of this. It's an absolute total disaster all the way around. And, you can go to places like, what's the other one that was another good one? VinFast. Oh gosh. All these other EV brands like VinFast, that just haven't sold. Think about this. Every single Ford electric vehicle that they sold, every one, they lost money on. What a brilliant business model. Love or hate Elon Musk, they're making money selling those cars. I don't agree with the cars, and I was talking to a car guy today about what happened with the woman I'm dating that had her Tesla bumped and the car got totaled. It's a disaster, guys, but this experiment is done. The fact that you can't drive to Las Vegas is insane. On a full charge, that is. They are great toys if you can afford them. It's that simple. Let's check out I make sure I don't walk on that stuff because it's too protected. But there's critters down here. You'll see fish. You'll see sea urchins down there. It's very, very cool. You know, just really, really nice to be up here. But again, the electric vehicle fantasy is over there. One of my favorite things ever was Mary Barra, who was the first woman CEO to run a motor vehicle manufacturer. Big deal, okay? You know, she should be embarrassed for this one video that circulated a little over a year ago. And that was when GM had their latest electric vehicle, uh, you know, uh, announcement. A reporter says, "Hey, where do you get the electricity from?" "We get it right from our building." Okay, so you plug it into the building. Yeah, where does that come from? It comes from coal, guys. Coal is what powered that particular building for General Motors. And the CEO of the company didn't know that, but it's free. It's free to run your cars. So the debacle is over, guys. The debacle is over. You know, I mean, I love this. I just, does anybody bought an electric vehicle that they're totally happy with? Do people use their electric vehicle a lot? Is there anybody that bought an F-150 Lightning that thinks that it was a great work truck? The Cybertruck, there are literally 3,000 of those vehicles unsold right now. You want one delivered, you can get one. You can go new, used, you can get tremendous deals on those vehicles for the simple fact that no one is buying them right now. So you be the judge. Let me know what you think. There's a lot more to cover in this video. Let's talk about our sponsor, Delete Me. One thing that we are all victims to is data brokers. And what is a data broker? They are the companies that accumulate all of our information and sell it. Our name, our address, our phone numbers, our email, pictures of us, our jobs, our home information, everything. And they put it online and sell it. There are over 600 data brokers out there that sell this stuff. There is a great company called Delete Me, and what they do is they eliminate your personal information off the web. I've had it for over a year now, and it has been amazing. I am a very private person, and I like my privacy, and Delete Me has helped me maintain that. We all get text messages from strange people, emails from strange people. It's time to eliminate that, guys. Look at what Delete Me can do. Use the discount code iAllegedly and save 20%. If you don't want to use the link below, take a picture of this QR code with your phone and save 20%. It is amazing. The service works so well. I cannot recommend Delete Me enough, but check them out today. Sign up for Delete Me and use the code iAllegedly today. Now, that's a big problem. Let's talk about something that is monumental and affects each and every one of us on a daily basis. You know, recently they announced the final penny was struck. How about this? The final penny is going to go for over $1 million. Someone will pay for the final penny that struck from the mint. That's insane. Somebody has too much money as a coin collector. But the bidding has already started on this. What's next right now? And here's the concerning part about this. This story came from out of the United States. It came from the Daily Mail in the UK, and they talked about our banking issue prior to it even being talked about here. They're getting rid of paper checks. This is going to be the next shoe that's going to drop when it comes to banking. And I'm really in tune with banking. I'm always doing stories on this. I'm always talking about how, you know, they want to mess with us. But one thing that they're doing is they're trying to get rid of the government writing paper checks. And I recently got a tax refund, and I was shocked because I called my accountant. I'm like, hey, you know, they sent me a check for that. Oh, wow. Okay, that's why we didn't see it. So again, shocking that you get this because they're getting rid of paper checks. The next thing that they're doing is they're only going to write checks for Social Security if it's an extreme situation. If you are somebody that really cannot, you know, handle an online account and you have to have a check, and for whatever reason, whether somebody maintains your books or somebody's taking care of you, you know, they're using extreme situations, and they're talking about disabled, sick, things like that. But getting rid of paper checks, guys. And we talked about this, and as of September, they're done. So they got rid of most paper checks when it comes to Social Security as of September 2025. Now, here is the thing. Banks want to get rid of this. Banks want to get rid of regular conventional paper checks so that they can track us. And what will be next will be cash. But let me back up to the check part. The advantage to this is checks are freedom, guys. They really are. You want to go buy something, you want to go buy something for your hobby. Maybe your hobby is fishing or it's outdoorsman stuff. You want to go write a check for that? Go write a check for that. You don't want to swipe it on your debit card or credit card? You can do that. But it gives you the freedom to go out and do this. Now, if you write John a check, John can then go cash the check for your transaction. Okay? They want to eliminate that completely. And again, it goes back to the lack of privacy and to be able to go out and to make it so they know exactly what you're spending money on. Do they approve of it? Do they not approve of it? It's funny. I was talking to a car guy this week about how much I drive. And guys, I sit there, leave my house, have a meeting inland. I drive 25 miles to the beach, come out to the beach, hear that the tide's really low. So I come out, because this is all, guys, normally this is all where I'm walking right now, is all normally underwater. So it's very cool to be out here. And they've got the Laguna Beach Society that maintains, the safety of the ocean and things like that. They're out there today making sure that kids aren't, stealing sea urchins and seashells and stuff like that, and crabs. So they're doing stuff like that. So, but again, very cool out here. But again, you know, it's funny. Our government calls it modernization, and it's just a way to remove options. Since October, think about it, middle of December, there's been 311 bank branches closed in the United States right now. And again, I got this story from the UK talking about what's going to happen in America when they get rid of all the bank branches. Well, you can sit there and say, oh, this is Dan, it's just a threat. No, this is happening, guys. They're changing the way that you can pay for things. They're changing your privacy. They're changing everything right before your eyes. So physical bank branches are being eliminated. Everything's going to be digital. Oh, Dan, that's modernization. See how this works. EVs failed. Okay. The centralized control didn't work. The idea with the car, I'm telling you, the ability to shut a car off, the ability to say, when they had fires, hey, don't charge your EV cars. I have to get the hell out of here. And no, I'm not going to charge my car. I'd have my own generator if I was dumb enough to have an electric car. Banking shifts is going to have centralized banking to where they control each and every one of us. That's what they want to do. They do not want a system that you're independent. The digital currency is going to be control how you spend it, control with your money, and it's going to be permission-based money. I love that term, permission-based money. I have so many great friends. I mean, really smart people. Everybody has done things different, and they're just so different, but they're all brilliant, and they all live different lives. And what I mean by that is they all spend money differently. Some like to travel, some like to stay home and build their businesses. I know a friend of mine who's building all these AI companies, and his big concern is memory and the databases and making sure he can afford that. And as he builds these things bigger, and they're the coolest things ever, all of them. But they're all great people. But imagine controlling how you spend money. That is a big, big deal, guys. They say it's about convenience. It's always about convenience, right up until, they tell you what you can buy. So these electric vehicles, man, I'm telling you, was such a disaster. All good things come to an end. Yeah, the electric vehicle debacle, the truck debacle is a nightmare. Men that use trucks, men that deliver things, men that build things, the garage door guys. You don't see the Cybertrucks being used for installations and things like that. You see these, as advertising vehicles. Somebody spends over $100,000 to put a sign on their Cybertruck, which there's a lot better ways to spend your money in my eyes. So EV fantasy's over, traditional banking's disappearing, but this affects all of us. And it'll be interesting to see what they do next and what they come up with next. So The Laguna Ocean Foundation, like I said, was out here watching all the kids and stuff. But this is just really nice when the tide's this low. It's really, really different and unique place to be. You've got, see the rock out there with all the migrating birds? That's really cool. You know? Share the video. Let me know what you guys think about this stuff. There's more to cover with business news right now. But these two things are huge, guys. They really are. And people don't get it. People just don't get it. You know, you want to have a business, you want to sell something, you want to start something new, go do it right now. I told the story at the end of the video a couple days ago, and I want to reemphasize this too. I have told you guys about that unclaimed funds and unclaimed.org. You can go out and you can search. Let's say you had an apartment, or you bought insurance, or you put a deposit down someplace and it got canceled, or you moved or whatever. Well, that money doesn't get stolen. If the business is reputable, they will send it eventually to the state that you live in. Here in California, they have an unclaimed funds department. The all-time record up until this week was a man that got just over $6,000 in unclaimed funds that he had, and it changed his life. Then I got a letter from Iris this week who said, wow, Dan, this is amazing. I just got just over $11,000 in a check. I found something that I did not know about and had the check sent to me in my state. Now, I don't know what it was for, but go to unclaimed.org for your state. Do not pay these services. Do not go and, oh, we will send you 10%. If you ever get a letter like that, these are companies that will basically do for you what you can do for free, and they're going to charge you 10% for that. So check that out today, because I absolutely love it. But bravo to Iris on that. A few things to finish this video. Please sign up for the Christmas card list. You have basically 2 days left to do that, and then we pull it. So that's last chance stuff. Use this QR code, take a picture of it. You need to be on our email list anyways, as it is. You don't want to miss out on stuff that we're doing. Roomba, the little robot vacuum, they filed for bankruptcy this week. And guess what the big problem is? People are worried that the Roombas are going to stop working. Well, here's the thing. If you were stupid enough, and I have 2 Roombas, okay? It's funny. I was given one as a gift, and then Lisa bought me one. So I have 2. So when one dies, I have the other one. I love the thing, but one thing that I learned was you don't have to go online and register it with the company. You can just charge it, turn it on, and you know what it'll do? It'll learn your house. Okay? So they went bankrupt. Until that thing dies, I don't care. I'm not on the app. I start giving my information to the app, and I'm like, wait a second, this is none of their business what I'm doing, where I live, or anything like that. So I am telling you, don't sign up for this stuff if you don't have to. Hey, listen, your digital thermostat's not going to work. Mine works just fine, and I'm not tied to the grid, okay? I can have it at a 75-degree dance party like I did last night, and after I left the jacuzzi. You know what I mean? I can do whatever the hell I want in the winter, and it's not tied to the grid. Oh, the house is kind of warm in the winter time. Pass on you, okay? So I love this stuff. Don't forget we have the private channel, iAllegedly Live. I love doing that uncensored content for you guys. It is a hit. It is working. There's well over 500 videos there. And the new video site, we're getting a bunch of YouTubers and other people that are going on there to share their stuff. It's uncensored and free. Check out newvideos.com today. Newvideos.com today. Couple final things. There's been an earthquake swarm here in California. For those of you that have never lived through an earthquake, basically we live in a fault line here in California, and there's a big one up here called the San Andreas Fault. And then there's smaller faults, and you get a lot of ocean activity. And if you have an earthquake that goes out in the water, you run the risk of a tsunami. Right now, think about this number. There's been an earthquake swarm in Northern California. They say that there is a 78% chance in the next 2 days that we're going to have the big one, a big earthquake. Well, you sure seem calm, Dan. Yeah, I have earthquake insurance, number one. And number two, I wouldn't be here. If there was an earthquake and the tides start going out, get the hell out of here for some tsunami. There's no video worth that. And the final thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, because I love it. I did a lot of work around startups and things like that, and it's really unregulated. And what I mean by that is I saw things where people were in incubators, where basically you had 25 to 50 companies under one roof, sharing desks and trying to create technology, basically medical, biotech, and online stuff. It was very cool. But I saw companies that raised money. I saw a company raise $2 million and squander it on basically a new type of baby monitor that would tie to a woman's stomach. And the engineer that was there this is going to revolutionize the entire industry, and he was all for it until they ran out of money and couldn't pay him anymore. Wasn't your stock worth anything? I don't know. I'm leaving. So that used to always infuriate me. And there's one that's finally getting investigated by the feds. Listen to this one. FBI investigated startup founder accused of taking her VC money, her venture capital money, to the Bahamas, going to the Caribbean, going on different vacations, buying stuff, and not putting it towards the company. Okay? Her name is Shiloh Lucky. Founded a tax compliant startup, and it was a popular TikTok channel as well. But she raised $5.5 million. And they're saying, no. This is shenanigans, because she started to spend the money on herself. Okay? The best month she ever had in sales. Think about the number I'm going to tell you. She raised $5.5 million. She was a TikTok influencer. They hate guys like me because I'm not on the right political side. But TikTok influencer, and her best monthly sales were $620 in 1 month. $5.5 million. Divide $620 by $5.5 million to equal that. Complete shenanigans. But she lived large on the money, and now she's facing criminal charges potentially. Isn't that beautiful? That's great, because you hear about these people fleecing people and taking advantage of people, and you're like, gosh, did they ever get caught? Did they ever get in trouble? Well, this woman's in serious trouble. So please let me know what you think about the death of EV cars and the death of your bank that's going to happen. And email me, hello@iallegedly.com, if you'd like to get a hold of me. Christmas card list. We're giving away some cool stuff. Plus, silver's worth a ton right now. So don't miss out on that. Look at our sponsor and reach out anytime. Hope you guys are well. And isn't this cool, seeing this little different light out here? Be well. I'll see you soon. Make good choices.